Buongiorno Wine Club members. This is our last video with our last wine of all of the shipments from the spring. And Chiara Boschis is a woman producer famous for being in the Barolo Boys, this famous group of young people, young winemakers who made Barolo famous, basically. They were considered modernists, but things have changed in time. Anyway, Chiara was the only woman, and she's enthusiastic, energetic, but these days have been really long for her. She's actually working in the vineyards. It's really hot here. So she's my last video because she's probably the hardest to find time to do an interview with. So this is her wine, Chiara Boschis, E.Pira Figli, because this was the original family that she bought the winery from when she was really young and by herself, and she had this opportunity. So that's why it's a very long name, Chiara Boschis E.Pira Figli. It is 2016, so it's the current vintage, and we actually ordered this wine before it got all the high points that it got. So we worked really hard to get enough wines to provide for you guys. It was a challenge, but we did it. And then Mosconi is the single cru. Mosconi is coming from the village of Monforte. So Chiara is going to talk just about this single cru because she has a really interesting story about it. So I just kind of went right into the video as we were having a casual conversation about her long day. And this was in the Barolo and Barbaresco only pack. So not all of you have it. It's for the Barolo only. And I'll give you a little spoiler that you will have her Langhe Nebbiolo, all of you, in the mixed pack in the fall. So that's pretty exciting too.
Da 12 ore che lavoro.
But that's why you're so great, is because you actually work in the vineyard, you know, because I feel like so many winemakers with the ones who have their name on the bottle are actually not the ones who go and work in the vineyard anymore.
I love working in vineyard, to be honest. I always say that is my care, it's very therapeutic for me. I like it because no phone, no emails, so it's good.
Hey, we could talk about your story for so long and your family and the winery and all of that you do, but our mission today is to talk about your Mosconi Barolo 2016. And so I wanted to ask you a little bit about this wine because I feel like a lot of people don't know a lot about Mosconi as a vineyard and as a cru. Whereas obviously Canubi is your most famous flagship, and then Villanuova is coming from well-known different crus from around the Barolo area. One thing I wanted to know was, when you took over from the Pira family, where were their vineyards exactly? Did they have vineyards in Mosconi?
No. Well, thank you for inviting me to this Zoom meeting, and I hope that that people will enjoy the wine, of course, first. So I'm happy to describe this wine that is my little baby. I love it so much. But yes, I can tell you a few words about that. But first, I would like to give the picture because, like you say, when I took over the winery of Pira in 1981, the property were only in Barolo. In the past, people move, was very difficult to move. So the property was located in the villages, so in the village where the winery was. And in fact, Pira used to had Canubi, that was the most prestigious vineyard, also because, you know, Barolo is a very old town. It's the town that gave the name to the wine. So Canubi, being the most important vineyard, has always been recognized and had this allure, glamorous concept, you know, recognition on it. The second vineyard was the vineyard that that was called Via Nuova. So in the past, Via Nuova was a single crew. But then you know that what in the past was just a mouth-to-mouth recognition, at a certain moment in 2010 become law. So black on white. So, and the decision of the Agriculture Commission of every single villages decided to keep names or not. So in some cases, some crew were cancelled and were connected with others. So Villanuova disappeared because was absorbed by Terlo. So today Villanuova doesn't exist anymore as a single crew, but his name has been changed in Terlo. And that's why I thought that would be very nice and interesting to get the name registered, like if it was, only my wine, it's a signature of the winery.
Right.
And so, yeah, and because you know that when I started my career as a winemaker, I was part of this revolutionary movement of the Barolo Boys. And one of the most important concepts we were really confident in and we were pushing on this flag was that the importance of the vinification impurity of the single vineyard. So for many years we were concentrated, and I was concentrated in vinify the single crew impurity, because this gives you the idea of the diversity, which is very important and very nice in our area. We have a lot of diversity, and this is fun to play. But I have to say that the traditional concept of the Barolo has always been the assemblage, which is also actually is a great idea too, because the assemblage provide a wine that has always a great balance. And so when my brother joined me in the company in 2010, you know that I was alone for long, and now finally I have my brother that helped me, and in the future there will be also his daughters, my nieces that are studying, and will come and help. But so when he joined, we were able to increase the property. Actually, in 2009, I had this occasion to buy the vineyard in Mosconi. And you know, Mosconi has always been a vineyard a little bit under the radar, because there were no winemaker, famous winemaker that were making Mosconi. The most important winemaker that was making a Mosconi crew, but was not calling Mosconi, was Clerico with his Per Cristina. So because I knew his wine, and I was, wow, amazed by the quality of this wine, when I had this occasion, I said, yes, oh my God, this is such a good luck. I asked, of course, Domenico, who was still alive back then, and he says, don't even waste the time to talk to me at the phone, run and, and pay the check. So I did it, and I'm very, very happy. The vineyard is unique. It's in Monforte d'Alba. It's parallel to Ginestra, which is already very famous. And it is more or less the same kind of soil, probably even more rich in clay. So Mosconi is on this side, very where also some of the land of Serralunga comes in, and so this is the corner of the area of the Barolo area, which provide the soil that has more strength. So the wines that comes from that area is a wine that has a great potential, has an important body all the time. So for me, it's very nice, because now I can really compare all the different crew, and I do 2 single crew, which are really like the 2 faces of the medal. One is Canubi, very elegant and perfumed, and on the other side there is Mosconi, that is more muscular, more masculine. The yin and the yang, the female and the male. So I'm very happy with this vineyard. It's a little bit higher than Barolo. We are on 400 meters over the level of the sea. And the slope of the single vineyard Mosconi is 100% south. So it's a great exposure. And it's the oldest vineyard that I own, because it's more than 60 years old. So the vines are very performing very well. The grape is absolutely gorgeous. The extension of the property in Monforte is combined with several plots. So the vineyard that gives the single crew, this old one, is a little bit less than 1 hectare. So the production is very limited.
Well, and also I think we have to say congratulations to you, because this was a monumental year for you. With your 2016s were just amazing. So congratulations for that.
Thank you.
You know, all of your wines are so highly rated, and you've made just some amazing wines for so long. You totally deserve it. But I like to talk about Mosconi, I think, for that reason too, because, you know, everybody talks about Canubi, and Villanuova now is the 100-point wine that everybody wants. But that's nothing to take away from this wine, which is so incredible. Every time I come to your winery, I always am surprised by how much I love Mosconi. So I think we should all talk about
Me too.
a little bit more. So yeah, congratulations.
Thank you.
So why don't we talk just real quick about 16 and what made 16 so special, in your opinion?
Yeah. Well, 16 has been a very favorable vintage. You know that in these last years, this kind of global warming is giving us a series of vintages that are more warm compared to a decade of the past in which we had to struggle with rain, with humidity, and so with the illness or with other problem like that. So the 2016 was a perfect vintage, you know, with everything going on in the right place. One of those classic vintages that are, of course, rare because they are perfect. So we are having very good vintages. Everyone has his own character, of course, but 16 is one of the few perfect vintages. So I'm sure that this wine is already gorgeous now to drink as a young wine. Absolutely. But it's a wine that has a potential of aging which is incredible. I don't want to wait. I'm drinking it now, but it's a wine that will give a great satisfaction.
Because of the elevation of Mosconi, do you tend to pick the grapes later in Mosconi compared to in Barolo, let's say?
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. This, absolutely. So Mosconi is a little bit slower compared to Barolo vineyards. And if you have a look on my Facebook page of the winery, I do a sort of diary. And I put the picture of the grape and of the vineyard, so you see always how Canubi is always in the first place. But this is very good, because for us, if you have the grape coming all together in the cellar, you get crazy. So the fact that you can play with different timing is very important also for us. And of course, being organic is also very important because the grape goes on a natural process of maturation and is followed by the tasting. You know, I follow it by tasting it and by doing a little bit of analysis to see how is the concentration of the sugar, how is the acidity, but essentially by tasting it.
Wow.
You know, everybody knows when fruit is perfectly mature. And so the first things you need to know is it good?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, then do the analysis and then go.
No, you have the experience now, so that's great. So we touched upon, my next question was when you recommend to open, which is always the hardest question to answer. So like you said, I think 16 is, if it doesn't shut down right now, it's so beautiful to drink, but will have potential to probably age till whenever people want to open it, I think. But
You know, when we talk about Barolo, we talk about a wine that reach his peak around the 10 years. So, but I love the Barolo also right away because it has all this fruit and this charming character, and I don't want to miss the evolution of the wine. So I like to see the different step. It's like to say, yeah, okay, it's true. They say, oh, don't drink before a certain age, which is makes sense when you just want to try, you know, the wine at his peak. But I don't want to miss the evolution. I don't want to miss the youth. I don't want to miss the maturity, and I don't want to miss the charm of the old age. Of course, it's important to have some bottle on the side to do that
that's what I
and
was
to
going to say.
try the wine.
So for our members who are getting one bottle each, just go for it, I guess. And then
Yes, exactly.
if we can find more, we'll get more. But you know, it's yeah, that's good advice. Just drink it now, so you don't wait too long and miss it. And you are also famous for your Castelmagno venture. And so I imagine that when I ask you what you would pair with this, I had in my head you might answer something with Castelmagno.
Yes, exactly. We just opened the season. I've been going this last weekend to support and help. So, and this year, with all the rain we got, we have a lot of flowers, a lot of field, and the cows are super happy. So I'm sure the quality will be great. And it's a cheese, of course, with a great taste and a great character. It's true that when it's very, very old, is the Castelmagno has a very strong taste. So I like with the Barolo, young Barolo like that one. I like also a little bit younger Castelmagno, only maybe 6, 8 months. But normally with the older one, it's better an older Barolo.
So maybe Castelmagno on gnocchi or some other, or just by itself.
Oh, love it. I love it. I love it the gnocchi. I love it the risotto as well. Or I just get pieces of that, of cheese, just like that, you know. I think that maybe we could ship directly to private.
I just had an idea.
Yeah.
That would be a good idea for the fall. And the clients will also have your Nebbiolo in the fall shipment that we ordered. And so it would go well even with the Langhe Nebbiolo. Okay, Chiara, well, I will let you go because you're such a busy lady and you're very popular and have a lot of Zoom meetings. And
now I need to go to sleep to rest. Tomorrow I start again 5 o'clock.
It's so hot too. So I'll let you go, and thank you so much for your wines this year and for your explanations and your enthusiasm and love for what you do. So
I thank you that are doing this. You're doing a great job. And it was not easy, of course, in this period of lockdown, but you keep on promoting the area, the wine. So I thank you very much, because this is a great support for everybody. So thank you. And
Can't wait
really,
for things to get back to normal, and we'll see everyone here. Okay,
a
Chiara.
lot of people is really waiting to
I
come
know.
back.
Have a nice night.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Goodbye,
you.
goodbye everybody,
Bye.
and
Thank
salut.
you.
Ciao.